Hello, friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel. Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. This is the first Game of the Week broadcast of the Franchise Stars Baseball League project I have developed for MLB The Show 22. This matchup features the Chicago Cubs visiting the Cincinnati Reds, the second game of their opening weekend series. The Cubs took the first game with a 6-2 victory behind Fergie Jenkins. So the Reds will look to get the series even here. This mod is available in the vault. It was uploaded late last night. I put a video here on the channel if you are at all interested in it. Again, this is not a usual all-time mod, so check out the video to see if it's something that's going to appeal to you. There are lots of legends who are not in it from the start, but I've talked about that in a bunch of broadcasts previously, so I'm not going to go belabor that point too much here, but you can look at that video if you are at all interested in the project. Rixey gets the start here for the Reds. First pitch to Bill Lang misses inside. Lang, strong game in the opener. Rixey's got the count even here, 1-1. Lang gets caught reaching there, taps it back to the mound. Rixey's throw to first puts him away, and the first out is recorded. Just got a message that the headset was disconnected, so hopefully everything is coming across here. See the Cubs line up there: Lang, English, and Hack, Hartnett, Grimes, and Dallin, Dalrymple, Ian Happ, and Darwin Barney. So it seems like a lot of the guys who are the secondary players getting a bit of an appearance here for the Cubs in this one. Darwin Barney. Actually, Barney, you know what, the game loves him for defense, so he actually may be the starter. The Cubs did not get a great draw offensively in the opening draw. Again, the rosters based on each franchise has a 100-player pool. A 40-man opening roster for the first year was selected via random generator. So the remaining 60 guys will come in future drafts into this league. Pitch there, Woody English, ground ball down to third. Heine Groves throw over to first, Casey with the grab, and that's the second out. So Rixey has retired the first two in short order. Here's Stan Hack, stepping in, lefty-lefty matchup here. Fastball misses high and inside, ball one. Rixey rears back and deals. Fastball at the knees evens the count. Hack fouls off that fastball. So Rixey ahead of Hack 1-2 here. Two outs here in the top of the first. We are just underway from Crosley Field. Fastball pushes Hack back off the plate. Evens things at 2-2. Swung on and missed. Good changeup down low. Hack swings over the top of it. Rixey has a 1-2-3 inning to start things off. Midway through the first, Cubs nothing, Reds coming up. Claude Passeau gets the start here for the Cubs. Right-hander slotting in behind Fergie Jenkins in the rotation to start the year. He will face Pete Rose, leading things off. Rose hitless in the opener. Expect that there will be plenty of hits for Pete Rose as this season progresses. Lines this one out to right on a rope, but caught. That is the first out of the inning. So one pitch, one down. Check out the lineup. Oh, another uniform glitch in MLB The Show. That's silly. Rose, Concepcion, and Lombardi. Foster, Seymour, Ival Goodman. Heine, Grove, Sean, Casey, Bid, McPhee. The Reds' opening lineup. Here's Dave Concepcion. Concepcion hitless in the opener. First pitch there, misses. 1-0. That one in there for a strike. So Passeau evens the count. Delivery there. Good breaking ball. Concepcion way out in front of that. Passeau's now ahead of him, 1-2. Offering misses down low. 2-2. Good take there from Concepcion. He swung at that. Best he would have done was bury that into the ground. Breaking ball there. Concepcion loops this one out in the left center. Diving play, and he gets there. Oh, Bill Lang. Covering lots of ground out there in center. Great grab from Lang. For the out. So Lang flashing some leather after a great offensive performance in the opener. 2 down. Here's Ernie Lombardi. Taking a couple of practice swings as he steps in. Passeau deals. Fastball, puts it right past Lombardi. Lombardi 2 for 4 in the opener. Breaking ball misses way outside. So 1-2 count. Passeau deals. Sinker misses inside, 2-2. Here's the offering, swung on and missed. So Passeau matches Rixey with a 1-2-3 opening inning, helped out by the terrific play from Bill Lang out in center. We are through 1 here at Crosley Field. Cubs and Reds both scoreless. So Gabby Hartnett will start the top of the second. Hartnett 1 for 3 in the opener. That shot out into the gap in right center. That's going way back. That ball's out of here. Home run, Gabby Hartnett takes Rixey deep out to right center. Hartnett homered in the opener. Homers again here. His second of the year. And the Cubs have taken a 1-0 lead. Hartnett drives that one out. Ray Grimes shows his appreciation as Hartnett crosses the plate. Hartnett just took what he was given, drove it out into the gap. So the Cubs take a 1-0 lead. Here's Ray Grimes. It's funny, it's still early in the season, so they show that as though the stat line from last year. Something to know about this roster set is that everybody was created from scratch without any, I've rated all the players. The faces, as you see Grimes 0 for 2 strikeouts in the opener of the series. The faces I did between a quarter and a third of. Others were taken, imported from other rosters that other guys have done for the game. But then I did all the ratings for everybody. But nobody has a history. All the stats were wiped out, so everybody starts with a totally empty career stat line. Again, this is going to be designed to be a lengthy franchise project that's going to have plenty of years to it. As Grimes grounds out to second for the first out. So I want to make sure that everybody was starting, with an empty stat line. So Rixey now to face Bill Dallin. Dallin steps in. Rixey trying to recover after the Hartnett homer. Pitch, ground ball up the middle. Ranging to his left, Concepcion fires. Tough play, and he's safe. Dallin beats it out. Nice play there by Concepcion. But not hit that hard. Dallin gets down the line. Big Clue joining us in chat. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Actually doing this broadcast legitimately live as opposed to pre-recording it and then, following along in the live chat. Had some time this morning, so figured we'd get the game of the week out of the way for this week. So Dowlin's on with the infield single. If you're just joining us, Cubs lead 1-0 on a Gabby Hartnett homer to open up this second inning. Here's Abner Dalrymple to face Rixey. Fastball misses inside. Again, that 0-0-0, it shows the last season stat line to this point. That will stop, I think, after a week or so. So it shows last year to open up, and then it will say what he did in the last game following that. Fake umps, but that's all right. We don't like the real umps much anyway, so do we really want to be yelling at Angel Hernandez when watching a video game? Change up there is in. 2-1 the count. Throw over to first. Dowling gets back in time. Clue mentions in the chat, love the old-time unis. When I do the broadcasts, I will most often use some sort of old uniform for the teams where I can do so. The teams that I had to create, I guess I created old-time uniforms for them as Dalrymple singles into right. Runner going to third, going to test the arm, throw off, Line's in there safe. So Dowling, aggressive base running there. He had to hold up to make sure that ball got through, but he goes first to third anyway. Dalrymple, with his first hit, runners at the corners. Rixey is going to try to go and stem the tide here. Turn this inning from turning from one run into something a bit more significant. Good piece of hitting here from Dalrymple. But the teams that I created that I had to move, so like the Cleveland Guardians, I made them back into being the Cleveland Indians, so I had to create their uniforms. I put the Nationals back in Montreal as the Expos, so I had to create their uniforms. And the Angels, I made them back to being the California Angels as opposed to the Los Angeles, Anaheim Angels of wherever. And I had to create those uniforms too. When I do these broadcasts, I'm generally going to lean towards the old school uniforms just because I think they're fun. Happ 0 for 4 with a strikeout in the opener. 1-1 count here as Rixey deals. Change up, lots of movement on that one. Happ swings out way in front and over it. He's now behind 1-2. Big pitch here from Rixey. He's got first and third, one out. Keeping the ball down in the zone, 2-2. Rixey delivers, misses off the outside corner. Happ watches it go by. So the count is now full. Darwin Barney waits on deck for the Cubs. Happ goes that one down the right field line, slicing foul. One hopper into the stands. Fan gets a souvenir. And the count stays full. Rixey offers. Happ pops it up. Shallow center field coming on. We got Cy Seymour out there. Dowlin's going to tag. Test and throw is up the line. Dowling comes and scores. So aggressive base running in this inning by Bill Dowling. Goes first to third aggressively. Gets into position for the sac fly. Comes in to score, and the Cubs have taken a 2-0 lead. So here's Darwin Barney. Barney slick with the glove, not much of a hitter. Oh for 4 in the opener. One on one count, 2 down. Here in the top of the second. That one slashed into the stands. Oh, or off the sidewall, I should say. Didn't quite make it into the crowd. Sure, the ball boy will throw the ball into the stands for a souvenir. 1-2 count. Pitch from Rixey, lined out in the center. Seymour coming on. He won't get there. It falls in. Runner will hold up. First and second with 2 down. So Rixey's scuffling a bit here. That'll bring up Bill Lang. The order rolls over. Lang 0 for 1. Did make a terrific catch in the bottom of the first. Lang grounded out his first time up. Oh, 1 count. Rixey delivers. Fastball misses high and inside. 1-1. I changed Lombardi's catcher's gear. Make it a bit more old school. That one slashed into the stands to the right. Ernie Lombardi should not be wearing a hockey-style catcher's mask. That was an oversight on my part in the setup. Easily fixable, though. Ground ball down to first. Sean Casey fields it. He'll take it himself, and the side is retired. But the Cubbies get 2. Home run from Hartnett. The Blue RBI single bringing home Bill Dallin. We head to the bottom of the second. Cubs 2, Reds nothing. So you'll see we're here from Crosley Field as George Foster steps in. Using older stadiums for any of the teams basically that I can use an older stadium for. Again, just trying to kind of honor the history of the game, which is a big thing of this project is about, players throughout history, but coming in intermittently, throughout the life of the project. I'm a baseball history buff. I'm a sports history buff, but baseball history buff in particular. So just kind of trying to honor the history of the game, basically putting teams into the stadiums that they played in for the longest amount of time. If it's in the game, like Crosley, that's really easy. The stadium creator, is that one's in there for a strike, 2-1 the count, as Passeau works to Foster. The stadium creator for MLB The Show is great. Still needs to be improved. There's a couple of things that need to be worked out. The lack of turf fields is a big one. So I couldn't create anything like Three Rivers, for example, if I wanted to create that for the Pirates. Although the Pirates are in Forbes, which works out fine as Foster goes down. Swing here for the first out. Gary Banks has joined us. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. And appreciate you joining and watching along. Ground ball up the middle, that's a base hit, so the Reds will have their first base runner. With the single up the middle there. So here's Ival Goodman. Goodman 1 for 3 on opening day. Again, the Cubs won the first game in this series. 6-2 behind Ferguson Jenkins. Mario Soto took the loss for the Reds in that one. Passeau looks in, count 0-1. Breaking ball in there, knuckleball from Passeau, and Goodman just looks at that one. Goodman 1 for 3 with the double in the opener. It's a little confusing how it does this. I mentioned this a little bit ago. So when a player first shows his last season stats, because it's so early in the year, is Passeau with a great breaking ball there. Goodman goes down. Claude Passeau looking very sharp early on here for the Cubs.
Number 75.
Goodman screws himself into the ground there for the strikeout. But I kind of got off topic from my point about the stadiums. So the stadium creator has let a bunch of guys who are really good at it create a bunch of old-time parks that don't come with the game. So, like Tiger Stadium isn't in the game, but somebody did a really good model of Tiger Stadium. At least I think it's a good model. And I always thought Tiger Stadium was kind of neat. So, like, the Tigers will play in Tiger Stadium. The White Sox play in a pretty solid version of Old Comiskey Park. Somebody created County Stadium for the Brewers, so that's in there. Atlanta Fulton County Stadium for the Braves, et cetera, down the line. So as many teams as I can, I put into the park that they were in the longest, if it's at all possible. That one swung on a miss in the dirt. Hartnett digs it out, though, throws it down to first, and the side is retired. So Claude Passeau dealing brilliantly for the Cubs through the first two. We head to the top of the third. Cubbies lead the Reds 2-0. Here's Woody English, grounded out his first time up. Rixey had a 1-2-3 first, was touched up for a couple of runs in the second, as he looks to get things back on track here in the top of the third. Again, you see that note there. It says Major League Debut. It will say that for every single player in the game, in their first game, because I've wiped out all the histories for all the players. Every player here, again, rated from scratch by me. A quarter to a third, I would say, of the player models were created by me. The rest of them were created by awesome mod guys in the community. I put a list of them up on the Twitter account and on the Facebook page the other day to give those guys credit, because their work really saved me a ton. Not having to do the faces for all the guys in this was a big deal. Ground ball down to third. Heine Gross scoops it. Throw over to first. Casey grabs it, and there's one man down.
The third baseman, number 6, Stan Hack.
So here's Stan Hack. Hack struck out his first time up. Rixey deals. Breaking ball, misses low and away. No, they said he caught the corner. I apologize there. I totally misread that one. Counts 0-1. Hack in the hole. Concepcion ranges to his right. Quick release. Nice job, Dave Concepcion. Gets Hack on the play in the hole. Concepcion got rid of that ball very quickly for the second out. Gary Banks notes, can see there's a real labor of love that went into this. I really appreciate that comment, Gary. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is just it's a passion of mine. I had done a Franchise Stars project back for MLB The Show. I guess it was 18 or 19 probably. As this one is skied out into center. Seymour will have room to put this away. And that ends the top of the third. So Rixey bounces back after a rough second. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Reds coming up. Casey, McPhee, and Rose. Cubs lead it 2-0. I had created that version, and I had played that for years. And then my PlayStation 4 died. And there was no cloud thing or anything like that. So I lost the project. And so when I got the PS5, I got the show, 22 here. Just an outstanding game. And I decided I wanted to rebuild the project, but I decided to rebuild it with a twist. And that's where my whole concept of the 100-player pool for each franchise, the 40 for the first year randomly picked, because you can edit draftees. So each year when the draft happens, I will create new players for each team. And I'll be able to keep this going. And but again, just as somebody who loves baseball history, I thought this would be a cool way to do this project and give it some length and staying power. But I really do appreciate that comment. I like when people note the effort that goes into it. That pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 the count as Passeau works to bid McPhee with one out here in the bottom of the third. That one foul back. 1-2 the count. So I did 4 broadcasts on opening day of the league. Just got excited to get it going. And, I want to kind of test things out and gauge interest and all that kind of stuff. And you guys in the community have been amazing, and I appreciate that. So from here on, we're going to go to a game of the week kind of setup. So basically each Saturday in the schedule, this one's looped out in the center. Going to hang up, though. Lang puts it away for the second out. Each Saturday in the schedule, I'll basically pick one game, and I will do that as the game of the week. And I'm going to try and do 2 of those each week. So we should get through 2 weeks of season in 1 week of real life time. Because I will also be doing regular broadcasts for the Legend Sports Universe Hockey League and the Legend Sports Universe Basketball Association and the Football League. Once I get that up, I have to do off-season stuff for that. But I'll be doing all of those things going forward and trying to get on a regular schedule and stuff like that. But going through 2 weeks, each regular week, each real life week, I guess you would say, is that one's flown out to left, brought in by Dalrymple for the final out. So Claude Passeau continues to just deal for the Cubs. We are through 3 here at Crosley Field. Cubs lead at 2-0. So that will get us through 2 weeks of game time per week of real time and let us move through the season at a decent clip without it being rushed. And I'll do write-ups and, I'll probably do a few broadcasts of like week in review, this week in baseball kind of things, as I have time to do so and kind of, really treat the league well, which is kind of what I want to do for all of my leagues now that I can get onto a regular schedule. That's been the intention since I started Legend Sports Universe, I guess about a year ago now. But I've always had a project in development and something I was working on. So I've never really been able to get on a set schedule. This one is hit deep to left. Rose going back at the wall, but that ball is out of here. Home run, Ray Grimes. Over the wall and left. Rixey victimized deep for the second time today. And the Cubs 0-0 lead. So Hartnett drove one out earlier. Grimes goes deep this time. The Reds, who dropped the opener in the series on opening day, find themselves in a 3-0 hole. They did a really good job with Crosley Field here. Crosley looks great. So in steps Bill Dowling. Dowling 1 for 1, reached on an infield single his first time up. Later went first to third on a hit and then scored on a sac fly. Got to get that necklace off from around Bill Dowling, though. All these little things I note in the game, they're minor things. I caught a ton of things like that during, testing and all that kind of stuff. But still trying to keep things as authentic as I possibly can. So 1-1 count as Rixey works to Dowling. Here's the pitch. That one's lined out in the center. Deep going towards the wall. Seymour on the run. Plays it off the fence. Double there for Bill Lang. Or Bill Dowling, rather. Standing on second here. So Rixey certainly having issues here early on. That one did not miss being a home run by much. So now here's Abner Dalrymple. Dalrymple singled his first time up. He's now got a runner in scoring position with nobody out. We'll see if the Reds get some bullpen action going. As Rixey certainly scuffling a bit here. That one misses down low. 1-1 the count. Rixey delivers. Fly ball out to right. Coming on. And they let it short hop. That one fell in. That looked like a ball that should have been caught by Eval Goodman. But Goodman pulls up early. Dalrymple gets a blue base hit. Goodman seems stuck whether he wanted to dive for it or not. And not wanting to dive, he just lets it fall in front of him. So runners at the corners. Rixey's defense not helping him there. Here's Ian Happ. Fastball there, misses up high. You can sense that Rixey's frustrated. One 1-0 pitch here coming. Well, ground ball down to first. Picked by Casey to Concepcion. Back to Casey, 3-6-3 double play. The run will come home. Cubs take a 4-0 lead, but at this point, Rixey will take that in exchange for the 2 outs. Nicely turned by Casey and Concepcion. So the double play and the run scoring clear the bases. That'll bring up Darwin Barney. Barney singled his first time up. Fastball in there for a called strike. Rixey at 57 pitches here in the top of the fourth. This 4-run deficit looks large as Claude Passeau has looked terrific for the Cubs through the first 3 innings. Again, Barney in more for his glove than his bat. But we'll keep saying that, and he'll keep getting singles. Another hit for Barney, his second of the game, on an 0-2 pitch, and that's just when you know that a pitcher doesn't have it.
Now batting, number 0.
At a complete advantage against the number 9 hitter in the order. Serves him a cookie on 0-2, and Barney makes him pay for it. So the order rolls over with 2 outs. Barney on first. Here's Bill Lang. Lang 0 for 2. Fastball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Lang has grounded out twice. We'll wait for the scroll on the bottom of the screen to go through some of this stuff from around the Franchise Stars Baseball League in these first few days. There are a few other games in action at this point. This is a 2:05 start. Most of the action later, but there were a couple of other 1 or 2 o'clock starts today. So we will check those out accordingly once the scroll starts. 1-1 delivery here from Rixey. Called strike at the knees on the inside corner. So 1-2, Rixey working the Lang. Barney on first, 2 down here in the top of the fourth. Cubs hold the 4-0 lead. Rixey deals on the outside corner, strike 3 called. So that ends the inning. Another frustrating one for Rixey. The Cubs have tacked him for 8 hits through the first 4. Several of the bloop variety, but 2 home runs mixed into that. We head to the bottom of the fourth, 4-0 Chicago. Here's Dave Concepcion. Flew out his first time up.
Number 13.
Passeau deals. Ground ball to short. Dowan has it. Over to first, 1 away. Passeau has just worked the zone to perfection so far. Here's Ernie Lombardi. Lombardi struck out his first time up. Knuckleball floats in there for a strike. Here you see some of the out-of-town news. Mickey Lolich, going 6 1/3, was touched for 4 runs, struck out 3, but the Tigers defeated the Mariners. CC Sabathia went 6 1/3, giving out 9, as the Yankees defeated the Rangers. That one shot down to third, fielded cleanly by Hack, throw over to first for the second out. Carl Hubble, complete game shutout against the Padres. The Padres may be the worst team in the league. We said that before the season ever started. They have been shut out back-to-back in the first 2 games of the season by Tim Keefe and Carl Hubble. They have mustered 7 hits in the first 2 games. There you see Twins in the White Sox game. Yankees lead the Rangers 3-2 in the fourth. Tommy Henrik continues to just be on fire. Speaking of on fire, George Foster just sends this one into the stratosphere. Claude Passeau's cruise control comes to a stop there as Foster goes deep for the shot to get the Reds on the board. Foster's first of the year, and the Reds cut the deficit to 4-1. So George Foster got all of that one. Way over the wall out and left. Foster did not miss that one. All Hartnett can do is watch. Passeau refused to watch. So we'll see if that triggers something for the Reds as they try to claw their way back into this game. We'll see how Passeau deals with his first blip on the radar. Knuckler falls in there to Cy Seymour, who singled in the second. Passeau gets ahead of him 0-1. That one at the knees, strike two. Seymour, who homered in the opening day loss for the Reds. The Reds roster, and the Cubs to an extent too, both of these teams have a bit of an old school feel with their opening 40-man draw. Again, each team with a 100-player pool. Their starting 40 for year one was randomly generated in a spreadsheet that I have. The remaining 60 players will enter the league over the coming years. So this will be a long-term dynasty, long-term franchise that I will be running here. It is just underway. This is the opening weekend. Did 4 broadcasts you can watch on the channel if you are so inclined from opening day. 2-2 count as Passeau works to Seymour. Ground ball, foul down the third baseline. Passeau delivers. Seymour tapper back to the mound. Passeau takes it himself. Throw to first, and the inning is over. But George Foster goes deep to get them on the board. Only their second hit. We head to the top of the fifth. Cubs lead the Reds 4-1. So we start the fifth. Rixey stays in the game. Here's Woody English. He's grounded out twice, 0 for 2. Breaking ball misses low and away. Again, back to that out-of-town scoreboard. The Angels even their opening weekend series with the A's, coming back to win that game in extra innings. Ground ball up the middle, nicely played. Off-balance throw, Bid McPhee. Bit of a midget infield here for the Reds between Bid McPhee at second and Heine Groh at third. Big Clue knows that doesn't look like George. He was a strong guy, but he was somewhat kind of like a sinewy kind of guy too. But really powerful. You can change the arm size when you create the models, but you can't really change the definition. So like you can't make him ripped. Which of course is minor in the grand scheme of things, but I know we had talked about this before, that George Foster was the first major leaguer I ever met. That shot over Casey. Casey leaps, tries to pull it down, gets a glove on it, tries to play it after it hits the ground, but Hack beats it out. Casey flips to first. Here's Gabby Hartnett. Hartnett solo home run back in the second. See there, the A's with a 1-0 lead in Game 3 of that series. Andre Dawson has hit a 3-run home run for the Expos. The Expos lead the Mets 6-3. Bucky Walters, Johnny Cueto throwing in the Reds bullpen. Yeah, as Clue notes, the animations in this game are top notch. It's not only beautifully done just in the gameplay, but like their cinematic shots. Like they'll do shots in particularly like in a night game or something like that at a really cool stadium of like the guy swinging the bat in the on-deck circle, and just the whole atmosphere it creates is really, really good. This is the best sports game that's out there. The only thing that I think rivals it is NBA 2K, who just did a bang-up job with that game this year. It's exceptionally well done. But I'm partial more to baseball, than I am to basketball. There's a base hit there into right. So Rixey continues to just face trouble at every turn. Just a dribbler that had heart and it shifted. He just singles the other way. Good piece of hitting. So here's Ray Grimes. You saw the action in the Reds bullpen. You got to think that Rixey is not long for this world at this point. He keeps trying to grind his way through, but the Cubs just keep picking him apart. Grimes picked him apart in a big way with a solo home run back in the fourth. Again, there's been lots of weak hits against Rixey, but he has given up the 2 home runs. And weak hits are still hits. There's only so many weak hits you can allow before you just say, it's not a pitcher's day. And that kind of seems to be the situation that Rixey is in here. 0-2 count, though, as he's ahead of Grimes. 1 out, first and second. Grimes chases one low and away, fouls it off. Breaking ball misses inside, 1-2. You know, and as great as this game is, and for all the things that it does right, it's why the things that it gets wrong are frustrating. Little frustrating things like that. As this shot is into right center from Grimes, gets a good hold of it. Going back on it, Ival Goodman can't make the play. Splits the defense, goes to the wall. They had to hold up to see if that would be caught. The run scores. Chicago takes a 5-1 lead. RBI double for Ray Grimes. And Ival Goodman has been somewhat of a butcher out there in right field so far in this game. Rixey won't say so, but I'm sure he is not thrilled with Goodman's play out there, as it's cost him a couple of times. That ball looked like one that Goodman should have been able to track down. But it marks the end of Rixey's day. Rixey will be fine. He'll put up strong numbers this year, but this was not his day for any means. Here's Bucky Walters. Walters worked 4 1/3 innings in the opener. Coming in, he's got a rubber arm, old school pitcher. Didn't make the rotation, but he can throw all day if he's effective, as he was in the opener, after Mario Soto was touched up. So here's Bill Dowling. Dowling 2 for 2, a single, a double, 2 runs scored. Walter's first pitch misses for a ball. Ground ball down to third. Groh charges. Not going to have a play at the plate or second. The only out. Over to first. Run scores. Tom Browning. A Tom Browning reference. Yeah, Browning was solid, but susceptible to the long ball. Here's Abner Dalrymple. Dalrymple has 2 hits. Browning is in the opening 40, but I don't think he made the rotation. He may actually be down in the minor league system for the Reds at this point. I don't remember off the top of my head. I remember a lot, as much time as I put into building this thing and doing rosters and ratings and all that kind of stuff. But I don't remember exactly where Browning landed. I am positive, though, he's not in the starting rotation. So Walters ahead of Dalrymple 0-2. Slider misses inside. I'm trying to remember if that's like the slip pitch or something like that, because they weren't really throwing sliders when Bucky Walters was pitching. And Walters wanted that call. He doesn't get it. That's a good pitch on the outside corner. Dalrymple was frozen, but it's called a ball. 2-2 the count. Dalrymple ground ball. McPhee ranges a couple steps to his left, makes the play, and the side is retired. But the Cubs tack on. We are midway through here at Crosley. The Cubs have extended their lead to 6-1. So here's Ival Goodman. As you mentioned, Goodman has had a rough day out in right field. No errors, but a couple of balls that Goodman should have gotten to and didn't. Which, from a development standpoint, roster development standpoint, pleases me greatly, because he wasn't considered a particularly good outfielder. And one of the big things that I tried to do in creating this roster set is, as Goodman is hit by the pitch there, by Passeau, my big criticism of games and rosters in general, and particularly in sports games, is that there's not enough differentiation between players. So, like, everybody kind of plays the same, especially defensively. So I really kind of stretched out the ratings of the players to make more differentiation. Like, I want your great fielders to feel like they are great fielders and better than the other guys in the league, instead of just everybody makes great plays all the time. So you'll see guys who aren't particularly, regarded as super defensive players still make nice plays sometimes, and they do in real life too. But you're seeing, seeing Goodman there, who was a kind of a mediocre outfielder, play like a mediocre outfielder is good for me to see, because the default ratings and sliders and stuff like that for the game don't really do that. So kind of happy to see that, even if it hurts a Reds fan like Clue. So here's Sean Casey. Casey 0 for 1. Casey, I mentioned this previously when I did like a bunch of exhibition games in testing this. Sean Casey was a savage in the exhibition games. Ground ball down to third. This could be 2. 5-4-3 double play, and the Reds are done in the 5th. Claude Passeau can go. He's allowed only 2 hits through 5. Hack to Barney to Grimes. Not exactly tinkered average to chance, but we'll take it. Nothing hurts a Reds fan like the Reds themselves. Yeah, it's been a bit since bit of a scuffle since the 70s. But you certainly had plenty of joy to last you for a while with that crew. Here's Ian Happ starting things off in the top of the 6th. Walters stays in for the Reds. That one misses away, 2-0. All pitch types for all the players. Again, I rated everybody here myself. I've got formulas to do everything that I've developed over the years. I've been doing this for 20 plus years through all sorts of different baseball games. But the pitch types are taken from the Nyer James Guide to Pitchers for anybody before like 2003, 2004. The pitch types listed on Fangraphs, which is just a great website. Like I'm seeing Bucky Walters, like they weren't really throwing sliders in his day. So I think that's probably what I used to replace. He probably had what they used to call a slip pitch. I think I kind of threw that in there as a sub for that. Ground ball to short, comes up, tough hop. Good job by Concepcion to stay with it. Throws him out, one away. Like in the old days, guys could throw spitballs legally. Well, there's no spitball in the game. I think I assigned a lot of spitball pitchers screwballs or like combinations. Like I would assign them a screwball and a splitter, just because spitballs could kind of move differently. So I wanted to kind of represent that. I want to represent the action more than just, what the pitch is called. I'm not worried about the fact that Walters didn't really throw a slider. I want his pitches to move the way they moved. And that's a big thing with me as Barney pops out there for the second out. People will, if they may look at the ratings of this set and say, this one's low or whatever. It's like, don't get caught up in the ratings. Get caught up in how a game plays. And that's the case for this or any other game and any work that any other roster developer does. Like, don't judge a roster by what the numbers look like just when you look at ratings. I frankly think overall ratings are stupid, because I kind of think they kind of get weighted weirdly in games a lot. And I also think then you start rating, if you worry too much about overall ratings, you're rating guys, you're messing with the legitimate ratings to try to get them to an overall number that you have in your head. And then I just think you make less authentic players. I think that's a big thing, like in the Madden series, you know, where it's like, oh my God, well, we have to rate this guy a 94. So now we're just going to rate him as a 90 plus in everything. Well, no, you shouldn't be a 90 plus in everything. Don't just gratuitously give a guy elevated ratings because you feel like he has to be represented as a 94 overall. Just rate a guy so that he will perform the way he would perform. And, you know, it's like you'll see some guys in this set, and people see him, oh wow, he's rated so low. I'm like, yes, but if the scale in the game is broken, then you have to adapt and you have to test. As Pete Rose grounds this one down to first, Grimes takes it to the bag himself. So Passeau has recovered well since the Foster home run. You know, like in this game, it's funny, like one of the last things that I did, this set probably would have been out in a few days. And the project would have started a few days earlier had I not made last minute kind of defensive adjustments. And one of the things that I observed was that by default, defensive, it will give too many errors to first baseman and shortstops and not enough errors to second baseman and third baseman in particular. So, like, if you rate a second baseman in the 90s defensively, he'll probably get relatively accurate numbers, perhaps even a little bit too good. If you rate a third baseman in this game in the 90s, he will virtually never make an error. And so you'll have, you know, even your best third basemen are going through the season making 10 to 12 errors a season. You look up error totals for, you know, Scott Rowland and Machado and even Brooks Robinson. You know, like, they made some errors. It's just third base is so hard to play, and they're more susceptible to errors. So, like, if you don't analyze it and really test things, as you see Joe Price and John Franco both throwing in the Reds bullpen, the error totals, like for team totals, actually looked pretty solid. They looked pretty accurate. It wasn't until I looked a little bit more deeper that I saw that, like, yeah, the error numbers are proper, but they're allocated in. So when I worked to kind of fix that a bit, and I can only fix it so much because if you lower the third baseman ratings too much to get the sim stats to the right number of errors, then I kind of feel like if you play the games out, they may make too many errors. So it was just a matter of kind of trying to strike a balance. And that's what roster creation and testing and development and all that stuff really should entail if you do it correctly. Lined out there to Casey, one away here in the top of the seventh. Cubs holding a 6-1 lead. They got a very strong start from Fergie Jenkins on opening day, and Claude Passeau has followed that up with a terrific outing here in the second game of this 3-game set. Again, I will not be broadcasting a game per day in the league. It's just the league opening day was on a Thursday, so I did the 4 opening day broadcasts, you know, I wanted to kind of jump into this. But now the game of the week setting will be the best games on a Saturday. So this is the first Saturday of the season. A lot of teams had a Friday off after the first opening day, so it's just their second game of the season. So, you know, the next game after this will be from the following Saturday, whenever I pick whoever I'll do in that broadcast. Kind of see what I think the best matchup is and go from there. I will do a broadcast for every team in the league as Hack lines this one in the center for a base hit. I will do a broadcast for every team, every franchise in the league up until opening day. I will make sure everybody is broadcast at least once, just so that people can see, you know, whatever every franchise. And then after the All-Star break, then from there it will just be whatever the best game of the week is, the best matchup, the most intriguing matchup. So here's Hartnett. Hartnett 2 for 3 with a homer. 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Gabby Hartnett, Ernie Lombardi. Both in this one, two of the better catchers to do it. Hartnett fouls it off. This NL Central should be a lot of fun. I think the Cardinals got the best draw for their opening year 40. They're probably the favorites as Hartnett gets his third hit of the game, lining one in the right. Goodman struggles again. That one may actually get to be an error charge to him if they determine that that's what allowed the runner to go to third. But the Reds may have an issue on their hands. It's hard to judge a guy on one game. But defensively, I'm not sure you can afford to keep sending Ival Goodman out there if this keeps up for too long. Here's Ray Grimes, 2 for 3, a homer, a double, pair of RBIs. Pitch from Walters. High fastball gets him. Walters ahead of Grimes 0-2. You know, the Reds, given their marvelous player pool, and the Cubs as well, got fair draws. Not terrible, but not great draws. This one skied out to center. Runner will tag up. Play at the plate will not be nearly in time. Run scores, and the Cubs open up their lead to 7-1. So Seymour hit the cutoff man. Then they decide to try to make the play at the plate to no avail. Here's Bill Dallin. Dallin 2 for 3. Single, a double, and an RBI. Breaking ball down in the dirt. 1-0 the count. That one misses away. It's 2-0. Pitch from Walters. Foul back. Count goes to 2-1. Pitch here, Dallin strokes this one in the left. Rose gets a good jump on it, though, puts it away, and the side is retired. So it's 7th inning stretch time here from Crosley. The Reds have some work to do. They're down 7-1. Ernie Lombardi 0 for 2.
The catcher, number 4.
Claude Passeau at only 62 pitches through 6. He has been around the plate, and the Reds have not been patient. A bad combination. Lombardi, first pitch, pulls it down to third. Hack over to first. One pitch, one out here in the bottom of the 7th.
The batter, the designated hitter, George Foster.
So here's George Foster back in the 4th. Foster provided the only run in the game with a bomb of a home run to left. Pretty much the only mistake Claude Passeau has made in this one. Breaking ball down low, misses 1-0. Another breaking ball. Doesn't break much, misses inside 2-0. Foster fouls it off. So 2-1 the count, one out here in the bottom of the 7th. Knuckleball misses up high. Cy Seymour waits on deck for the Reds. Checking the out-of-town scoreboard, Twins and White Sox in the 7th, tied at 3. Larry Heil has a home run there, a 2-run shot. Happy Felsch, 1 for 3 with an RBI for the Sox. Yankees lead the Rangers. Excuse me, I'm sorry, that game has now been tied. 5-5 in the 7th. Tommy Henrich has hit 2 more home runs. Tommy Henrich is not a huge power hitter. He had some pop. Not a huge power hitter, not rated as a huge power hitter, but he has hit 5 home runs in the first 3 games of the Yankees' 4-game set against the Rangers. Texas will be more. Tommy Henrik leave that city. Or the state, I should say, as the case would be. High fly ball to right. This one's going back at the wall, and it's out of here. Home run for the Reds. 2-run shot. Cy Seymour, his second of the year. He homered on opening day as well. Seymour puts one into the seats. The Reds pick up a glimmer of hope there on the 2-run shot as they cut the deficit to 7-3. Seymour gets out in front of that one, puts the barrel on it. Hasn't happened much for the Reds today, but the 2-run shot there. Here's Ival Goodman. Knuckleball in there for a strike. Goodman 0 for 1, hit by a pitch his last time up. Crowd trying to get the Reds back into it. Goodman swings and misses by a mile, counts 0-2. And Goodman is hit again for a second time. He's looking out at Passeau. There's obviously no intention. That's a breaking ball, but even so, you get hit twice, you're not going to be happy about it. Here's Heine Groh. We have not seen them show bullpen action for the Cubs as of yet. Ground ball down to third base line. Over the bag, picked nicely by Hack. Long throw, tough play. Pulls Grimes off the base. It's going to be called an infield single. Just over the bag. I apologize. I thought he pulled him off the base. They just said he did beat it out. So first and second, here's Sean Casey. Casey 0 for 2. As the Reds try to scratch and claw their way back into it. Gotta think bullpen action will start soon here for the Cubs. And misses away. And as we say that, there you see Don Elston and Bill Henry both throwing in the Cubs bullpen. First and second, 1 out. That one misses away, 2-1. Passeau from the set. Delivers. Casey shot, one hopper. No, it was actually picked before it hit the ground. Nice job there, Stan Hack on the low liner. Right at him, but hit well, hard the other way by Casey. Good play there by Hack. I thought he had short-hopped it, but nobody's arguing, so he did get it before it hit the ground. So now it's up to Bid McPhee, who's 0 for 2, to see if he can help the Reds get closer. First pitch swing, weak ground ball to second. Barney is there. Throws to Grimes. They get him, and the side is retired. Oh, the stupid uniform glitch. That's going to drive me nuts every single broadcast, I can tell. So Cy Seymour goes deep for the Reds. They get a couple. We are through 7, though, and the Reds still trail at 7-3. Here's Adam Dalrymple. Dalrymple, pair of singles on the day. Bucky Walters still in relief. He has been terrific for the Reds. Opening day and again here today. Breaking ball misses away in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Shot out to short. Concepcion has it. Walks it over to first to Casey. One man down. If you see uniform numbers that don't look correct, it's simply because players probably, again, we're merging players from throughout history. So teams may just have multiple players who wore the same number. it won't allow you to assign duplicate numbers, so somebody gets moved off of their number there. I will try to go through and see if there's any really egregious ones. You know, guys who are really identified with numbers and shouldn't lose theirs. But I admit it's not something that's of tremendous importance to me. I'm far more concerned with the playability and performance than I am with, aesthetic things like that. Yankees have taken the 6-5 lead over the Rangers. Again, Tommy Henrik just on fire these first 3 games. Mark Teixeira has gone yard for the Rangers. Rays and Red Sox just underway. Archer and Cy Young, the pitching matchup there. Angels hold a 5-1 lead over the A's. Bill North has a home run to get the A's on the board. It's a final from Shea Stadium. The Expos pick up their first win. Evening that series, Steven Strasburg gets the victory. Andre Dawson, a 3-run home run for the Expos. Darryl Strawberry had a 2-run shot for the Mets in the loss. In the 5th, Pirates lead the Cardinals 5-4. Ray Lankford went deep for the Cardinals in that one. Sinker misses away. Full count. Now as Walters works to Happ. Another one fouled off. I've been asked before, as Happ has faced 8 pitches in this at bat, about whether I would do quick counts in this, and I don't want to do it. Like, the best part of I'm not in any rush as Happ goes down looking for strike 3. I'm not in a rush, but B, it's just like the best part of baseball is the pitcher-batter interaction. Like, why would I want to go and trim that? I fully understand, people maybe not wanting to watch, games will take between an hour 15 and an hour and a half. But I figure most people are probably, especially when I do like a daytime broadcast like this, most people are going to be listening in the background rather than watching. Is at least the impression that I've been under. So, I'm gonna do it like a straight broadcast because it's just what I prefer. 1-1 count here to Barney. Walters delivers. Ground ball back up the middle. It hits off Walters. Groh tries to pick it up on the roll. No such luck. So Darwin Barney has his 3rd hit of the game from the 9-hole. Order rolls over. Bill Lang from the leadoff slot is 0 for 4. 2 men down, Barney on first. Walters deals for a strike. That one is fouled off, so Walters ahead of Lang, 0-2 here. The pitch misses away. 1-2 count. Shot into the gap, that's going to be extra bases. So Lang's 0-for is done. He will get an extra base hit out of this. Barney being waved around. Here comes the relay throw home. Not in time. Darwin Barney scores on Bill Lang's double into the gap, and the Cubs extend their lead to 8-3. So Lang drives that one in. Barney never thought about stopping. Not a bad relay throw from Concepcion. Lombardi had no shot at him. So that's it for Walters. He certainly did a fine job. Here's Clay Carroll. He'll make his first appearance of the young season. Every player in this set, which again was uploaded to the vault last night if you are interested in it, Every player in the set has no experience. They have no stat line, and they are 22 years old. We wanted to have guys possibly in the league for the maximum amount of time. That one yanked way foul, though. Woody English way out in front of that. O2 pitch misses away. 1-2 the count. Fly ball out to right. The adventures of Ival Goodman continue. He pulls this one in, though, for the out, and the side is retired. But the Cubs tack on another. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Chicago 8, Cincinnati 3. Rose, Concepcion, and Lombardi due up for the Reds. Passeau will stay in to start the 8th. There was bullpen action going before, but for now, this is Passeau's game. Rose lines it the other way, but they were playing him shallow. Dalrymple there for the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the second ball that Rose has hit on the screws and had nothing to show for it. Here's Dave Concepcion. Concepcion 0 for 3. That's a shot. Leaping attempt by Dowan. He can't come up with it. And Concepcion with a 1-out single into left.
The batter, number 4.
Sorry there, just had text. So Concepcion. Here's Ernie Lombardi. Lombardi 0 for 3, grounded out his last time up. One man down as Passeau works. That one misses down low, 1-0. Ground ball to third. Hack has it. To second for 1. Turned by Barney. On to first. Another double play. Turned by the Cubs. Passeau makes it through 8. 5-4-3. We head to the top of the 9th. Cubs lead the Reds 8-3. So here's Stan Hack. 2 for 4. Pair of singles. Pair of runs scored. Angels have opened up a 5-1 lead on the A's out there in Oakland. Again, Expos defeated the Mets 6-3 earlier on. Fastball misses up high, 2-0 the count. Price and Franco working for the Reds. Of course, the real question at this point is if Passeau is going to get an opportunity at the complete game here. Fly ball to right, going back. Goodman, he's there. Puts it away for the out, 1 down. I did build this set with the intention of it playing like mid-70s to early 80s kind of baseball. I do want complete games and shutouts. I want some stolen bases. I want home run leaders in the, 30s and 40s rather than the 60s. That's just kind of the style that I like. I'm not, old man yelling at a cloud. The game changes, the game evolves, and all that kind of stuff. That's all well and good. I don't dislike the modern game or anything like that. But if I'm going to build a project, I'm going to build it for the style of baseball that I grew up on and that I like the most. So double there into the gap as the hits keep on coming for the Cubbies. Terrific day for Gabby Hartnett. Now here's Ray Grimes. Grimes 2 for 3. Flies this one. fairly deep to left, but Rose is under it. Puts it away for the second out.
The batter, number 50.
So here's Bill Dowling. Dowling 2 for 4, single, double, and an RBI. Carroll delivers. That one's pulled foul. Carroll deals. Shot out towards the gap. Rose pursuing. Gets there. Good job by Pete Rose out and left. Now, Rose was a better defender than I think a lot of people remember him as, just because, he was such a terrific hitter. But Rose, particularly early in his career, was a solid, if not exceptional, defensive player. And at multiple positions, too.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for
So here's Don Elston.
number 36.
Elston threw an inning in the opening day matchup. Scoreless inning. He did walk 2, though. But he will get an opportunity to wrap this one up. So Claude Passeau's day is done with 8 solid innings of work. Here's George Foster. Foster homered in the 4th. Fastball high and tight from Elston. Foster hits the deck. Oh, boy. Nothing transpires. Do not think that Don Elston wants to see George Foster coming out to the mound. 2-0 the count. Another one inside, 3-0. Cy Seymour, who homered his last time up, swings a bat on deck. Here's the delivery. Foster turns it, but foul. Foster swinging 3-0 in an 8-3 game. Because why not? Here's the pitch from Elston. Foster out into left. Dalrymple there for the out. One away.
Now batting, number 35.
So here's Cy Seymour, as we mentioned. Homered earlier. He's 2 for 3. Single and the 2-run homer. See on the out-of-town scoreboard, the Yankees have taken a 7-5 lead over the Rangers in Texas. Seymour lines this one into the gap. That's going to be extra bases. They wait for it to come off the wall. Seymour will pull in at second with a cruise control double. And Cincinnati gets a late something to cheer about, though the 5-run deficit will kind of mute the reaction. Again, going back to that Yankees-Rangers result, Tommy Henrich, the story of this opening slate of games. He has hit 5 home runs in the first 3 games of the Yankees series in Arlington. And you're not going to see Henrich among the start in the opening series. The Yankees took the first 2 games of that set. They lead in the 3rd. 1-0 count here as Elston works to Goodman. That one in there for a called strike, 1-1. Elston looks in. Again, this NL Central should be a fun division. Fly ball, shallow left field. Dalrymple coming on. He gets there, puts it away. For the second out, the Reds are down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Now batting, number 75.
Heine Gross steps in, 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Elston delivers. Breaking ball in there for a called strike, 0-1. There's a few Heines in the lead. Heine Zimmerman will show up at some point. Heine Pites for the Reds, if I remember correctly. Ground ball to second. Barney over to Grimes, and that ends it. So Claude Passeau gives the Cubs a terrific start here. The Cubs get to Rixey, who just did not have his best stuff. So the Cubs have taken the first 2 games of this opening series. There you see the line score. Passeau with the win, Rixey with the loss. Cubs knock out 16 hits. And we'll go for the sweep on Sunday. That game, of course, will not be broadcast. Again, did the 4-game set. I did 4 broadcasts for opening day, and now we're in the game of the week setup. So opening day, according to the game schedule, was on a Thursday. We simmed the Friday games, and then I picked the best game that I wanted to do for Saturday. And now we will sim until next Saturday in the schedule, and then I will do that next game of the week. That's probably not going to happen until next week. I'm not sure I'm going to be doing broadcast after today. I'm going to be doing a hockey broadcast, Legend Sports Universe Hockey League, later on today. So I may not have another baseball broadcast until next week. I may do a weekend review thing because I can probably put that together pretty quickly. But as far as a game broadcast, I probably won't have another one until Monday. Again, this roster set is up in the vault. I posted it last night. I realize it is not for everybody because there's a lot of all-time players who aren't in it by virtue of the way I'm doing the Franchise Stars Baseball League. I did a separate video last night. It's about 15 minutes long. Talks about the project a little bit before you download it. If you are so interested, if you're looking for just kind of a standard all-time set, with every team's absolute best 30 or 40 players or whatever like that, a ton of guys have done different versions of those sets. That may be more what you're looking for than this. This is kind of a cross-section kind of thing, and again, built with a franchise evolution in mind. So, again, 100 player pools for each franchise, 40 players picked at random for this opening season. The other 60 will enter through future drafts. Each draft will also have 1 round of Negro League players entered into the league as well. So that will do it for this broadcast from Cincinnati. I thank you guys, as always, for watching, for following along, for supporting the project and the things I do here in the Legend Sports universe. Have a wonderful day. Be good to each other, and we'll talk soon.